The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it's time for another edition of Mick Shots as the Cowboys, on the day after a 24-19 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers at AT&T Stadium, start their bye week. And there is news already happening around the Star in Frisco as this week begins. Mickey Spagnola inside the SWBC Mortgage Studios at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. We expect to be joined by Everson Walls here shortly as we look back at Sunday afternoon at AT&T Stadium. But Mickey, how about right off the bat? First off, how are you doing on this fine Monday?
I'm doing fine on this fine Monday here in my SWBC Mortgage Studio. And you look like you're doing great. You got your ball cap on a Monday afternoon.
That's right. Yep, I've been studying up so much on the game from yesterday and this bye-week opponent this week that I will take my shower after we get done with Mick Shots.
Well, very good, because there was when you end up playing close games like this, there's always a lot to go back and look at. You know, when you get wiped out, it's like, okay, you just got beat. But I know in this game, Bill, I went back. I don't know, I probably got home about 11:30 last night from the stadium. And, of course, I had to go back and check out several plays and rewatch them. And I ended up with a full page here and then the back page here of critical plays in this game that I know we don't have time to go all over all of them. But when you lose 24-19, there's a lot of different things that lead to that outcome, good and bad.
Well, isn't it nice to have here a couple of games in a row now where you can actually fill up both sides of a sheet of notebook paper with critical plays?
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row, right? And, you know, last week we talked about how, well, okay, the defense looked like they took a step forward, but it was against the Eagles. Well, they took another step forward, and this wasn't just against the Steelers. This was against the Steelers that came into this game averaging 30 points a game, had not scored fewer than 25 in any game, and the Cowboys really did a nice job defensively to kind of hold the Steelers down to a manageable amount of points that gave yourself a chance to win and really not have to come out of your game plan, since, by golly, the Cowboys had a 13-point lead in a game, the biggest lead they've had all season long. So, again, encouraging steps. Unfortunately, they did not get rewarded for playing much better defensively, and then a really fine performance by Garrett Gilbert on offense, starting his first NFL game. And I don't care if this is his 7th season or not. He had not played a full game since like March, I think it was March 30th of 2019 with the Orlando Apollos, by the way, and had only thrown 6 passes in the NFL in his career to this point. So we almost had another really, really fairy tale story about a Cowboys backup quarterback coming in to save the day.
And the other thing that I'm taking from that game yesterday is the fact that there's really not that much difference between the best teams in the league and the teams that are sitting there with 2-7 records right now. I mean, when you break it all down, you take a couple, 3 players off that Steelers team, and they might be sitting there at 2-7 also right now. Everson Walls, I think, might be joining us here. I see Everson on our... There he is.
Not only did 2 or 3 players make a difference,
2 or 3 bad calls also make a difference in a ball game. I mean, we talked about it. We've always said it. I go on my little rants about we get the worst officiating crew because we're at the bottom now as far as wins are concerned. It seems as if, nothing's critical to the referees, but it is critical to us as fans and as Cowboy fans, as Cowboy players. And I'm a little bit different from you, Spags, in regards to the fact that I expect more from these guys. You're giving them a pass. I'm not giving them a pass because I see just how good they can be. And I'm really encouraged by that. So, of course, if you see that they're finally realizing their potential, then I'm going to expect more from them physically and mentally. Gilbert, good game, but I'm sitting there on the couch with my family. I'm thinking about you two guys. I'm wondering if Bill curses like I do. The last thing that you do is have a turnover in that situation. My daughter knows it. My son knows it. My wife comes walking in the room. Even she knows it. You do not throw that interception. And it just got me off of my couch. I think I texted Spags. Bill, I didn't think of you at that time because this is Mick shots, and I know Mick was going to go off. But I can't give them a pass on that one. I am so sorry, guys. I expect more from them. We should have won this game going away. When you realize what you're doing, before you wake up, you say, let's go forward with this. Because if I wake up from this dream, I'm never going to be back here again. Right now, the Cowboys had the perfect situation. They had many situations. You could have gambled a little bit more. You could have believed in yourself, and you could have played smart. So right now, I'm happy about what we did, but I'm also so sad about how we lost it.
Okay, Everson, Mickey, I got to jump in there.
Yeah, I was trying to get in there, but he wouldn't let me in.
I'm not letting you in, damn it. That was my time.
I'll give it to you, Mickey, I give it to you, but I just got to say, I did the exact same thing you did, Everson, watching the game at home on my couch, and I was watching it by myself, and right before that, my wife had come in from shopping. Her sister-in-law's in town, just got in town. My nephew's with them. My daughter is, and they all walk in, and I'm just oblivious to them. I mean, she just got into town, and I'm focused on this game, and I'm not even paying attention to them, and I'm yelling at the TV when that interception happened. And they quickly got their beverages and went out on the back porch.
Thank God. Yeah.
Watch the game. Yeah.
This is not a place for the faint of heart right now.
The exact same thing you did. All right. That's exactly right. All right.
All right, Spags, what you got, man?
So,
jump on in.
So he should have never been put in that situation at the 5-yard line throwing passes into the end zone, or attempting to throw passes into the end zone. If you look at the second down play, second and goal at the 5, had that pass not been batted at the line of scrimmage by T.J. Watt, that ball was going to get intercepted in the end zone. And the next play, you've got a field goal in your back pocket, and I'm not a fan of field goals, but when you can go up 22-15, then I think you've got to protect the field goal, and you got to protect your quarterback. Should have ran the ball twice, even if Pittsburgh is stacking the line of scrimmage with 7-8 guys at the line, 6 guys blitzing all the time. I just think you had to be conservative there and protect your quarterback and not ask him to do something that he hadn't done since March 30th of 2019. And I think you had to take that into account and know that you had a field goal in your back pocket and not try to do something fancy. And it wasn't his fault. He's trying to throw the ball away, and he gets blasted. And unfortunately, the ball pops up in the air, and it's an interception. So I think you had to protect your quarterback at that spot.
And I agree wholeheartedly. And in fact, that's why I was yelling at the TV.
If you're in field goal range.
Yeah, go ahead, Everson.
I think my thing was we just have to we have to make sure that we secure one thing at least. I want to go for the score, but we've got to make sure that we end up with no less than that field goal.
Yes, absolutely.
And you went out on them. My internet is horrible over here right now. But Spags, I don't know if you can hear me, but there was the pass interference call. I've got a list of bad plays by the referees, and that was one of them. Should have called the pass interference on Cooper. It's easy to call. I don't understand why it seems that when the Cowboys need a play and we make that play, they always find one of our DBs holding, and rightfully so. I see it all the time. They're holding. They shouldn't have held. They deserve the call. Let's move on. Pittsburgh does the same thing. Blatant hook move by the slot DB as Cooper was about to beat him inside. That pass still should not have been thrown. I think that's where Gilbert was looking. But at the same time, we need that call to be made. It's only fair that you call PI in the end zone. You call it all the time. All of a sudden, you want to swallow your whistle. And I don't understand this reticence on these referees in these Cowboy games. There seems to be a virus going around of ignorance when it comes to these referees, because it's a clear call that should have been made. And when you talk about a crucial situation like this, you're talking about a team that's 7-0. You're talking about another team who's, the most renowned team in the world. So you got to send in referees that know what the hell they're doing. McCarthy's going to have a freaking aneurysm over there if they keep on screwing him over in these critical situations, because he sees it and he's letting them know. And I'm hoping that he continues this throughout the week, because the Cowboys have been getting hosed by the referees way too much this season.
I don't think there's a vaccine for that virus either, by the way.
I hope y'all heard that, because my internet is horrible.
Yeah. We did hear you, Everson, and I'll reiterate that when I was yelling at the TV, it wasn't at Garrett Gilbert. It was I agree with you, Mickey, wholeheartedly that you just can't put your quarterback who's got not even all of 3 practices with the first team the past week out there in that situation. You got to protect him from making a mistake against the number 1 pass rush in the league. And you got to come away from that situation with a 22-15 lead, and then the rest of the game might play out a little bit differently. So that's just the way I look at that as well. While we're on that subject, Mickey, maybe one of the decisions on your little play sheet there was kicking the field goal on 4th and inches. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I think Tony Romo and I were on the same page on that one. I just think taking into consideration who you are, who you're playing, where you're at, how hard it is to get that close to scoring a touchdown, and you just got inches to go. I just think you got to gamble there and not take the field goal. And go for it. I think, it was early enough in the game to go ahead and do that. And as I've always said, especially in that case, the more field goals you kick, you're getting closer to getting beat. because you're allowing that other team to get back into the game. And I just think they had to gamble. And I don't even know if you call it a gamble at that point. I think you just had to go for it at that point.
Everson, are you going to react to that?
That's a necessity. You're right, Spags. That's no gamble at all. You're talking about inches. And, even when you go to that situation, once again, I'm going to my referees. I'm sorry, guys. I thought that was a bad spot. I really did. I thought that was just a bad spot by the referees. I thought, if I'm not mistaken, that run by Zeke, a 10 or 11-yard run where his elbow came down, that was what preceded that decision, correct? Is that the play that preceded that decision?
Yes.
There's 8-yard run.
And to me, before he fell, he used that one leg, and he used just a little bit more of a push off to stay off the ground. The elbow was there. To me, the elbow was there. They called it a good spot. Matter of fact, Romo called it a perfect spot. I called it a bad spot. It seems as if teams that are losing, referees never give them the benefit of the doubt. Any other time, any other game, they're going to come up, they're going to put that ball down, and they're going to say, move the chains. That's what they should have done with us. I think that's just a no-brainer. I don't know what you guys saw. I thought his elbow was down at the first down marker.
You know what? When that referee on that side, the official on the Cowboys sideline initially spotted the ball, he put his foot right on the first down line. And then when he came in and set the ball down, he moved it back about 6 inches. And it cost him the first down.
That's right. He sure did.
And that guy made some really critical calls in the game that I'm surprised McCarthy just didn't beat him up. Wouldn't that be a sight, right? Because he was in that guy.
That's
See,
that's the
same guy. That's the same guy. I think it was on that side of the field when they called the big play back for Steele not being on the line of scrimmage. And even Romo said normally when that happens, they'll give the guy a warning and say, hey, you better bring it up. And
you get a warning.
Right, and he got no warning.
You get a warning.
He threw the flag.
No warning.
And it's like, I thought, McCarthy was going to come unglued. But there's a bunch of them. And I'll go back to the interception, by the way, in the end zone. Cameron Hayward should have been called for hands to the face. He had his hand right in the chin of Connor Williams, pushing the whole way, which caused the thing to collapse. And it was obvious. I saw it real time. It was like, whoa, look at that. And no call. How do you miss that? How do you miss that?
I got one for you.
And then call a personal foul.
No one made reference to it. I don't know if you saw it, Bill, because you're at home by yourself. Your wife wasn't there for distraction yet, and I hope you guys can hear me because my internet, once again, is horrible. First quarter, at the 10:55 mark. No, I'm sorry. Let me start over. First quarter, was it 7:13 mark? Pollard breaks through. That's his first big run. Did anyone notice Fitzpatrick horse collar on that play? He was tackled at the 14-yard line, and Pollard gave a good stiff arm to him. And in order for that guy to maintain a grasp on Pollard, he had to grab him around the shoulder pad, and he brought him down hard. That was at the 14-yard line. If the referee is on his job, then we get half the distance after that, and we're at the 7-yard line. We end up kicking a field goal after that. You put me at the 7, I might score a touchdown. Little things like that just really make a difference in the ball game when you have the just ineptitude of referees, and really, it wasn't even a tough call to make. They were the only two people involved in the play itself. So for them not to see that, it just seems like they're just out to lunch. They're just out to lunch. I'm sorry.
All right, we're up against a break. I do want to say this about the 4th and inches decision. I initially, and I agree with you on the spot. Although the last replay made me wonder if whether it was good or not. But anyway, that's beside the point. I did not have an issue with him kicking the field goal there because going into this game, this is my philosophy with a quarterback who's had 3 practices. I just don't think he's going to be able to convert touchdowns in the red zone myself. And I think that the chances were greater that there would be a negative play that would get you either not out of field goal range necessarily at that point because you're at the 20-yard line, although it could have happened with a sack, but coughing up the football or whatever where you don't get those 3 points. I want those 3 points so badly because of the situation. If it was Dak at quarterback, if it was Dalton at quarterback, I'd say go for it. But also I looked at the last 3 times that Zeke carried the football. He went for 0 yards, 1 yard, and 0 yards prior to that 8-yard run. I thought you were fortunate that you got within inches. Okay, you didn't get the call. Go ahead and take your 3 points, a 10-point lead late in the third quarter. That's the way I looked at it, but I totally understand going for it as well. It's just in my mindset, with a quarterback making his first start with 3 practices, I just don't think you're going to be having much success in the red zone at all. All right, we got to take a break.
You sound like an analytics guy.
No, I'm just ultra conservative with a quarterback that doesn't have any experience at all.
You got to go with your gut, Bill. This is the time to go with your gut,
That is my
baby.
gut. My gut was totally opposite because Tony Romo, when he was a rookie, he would have wanted to go for it too, and I guarantee you Bill Parcells would have taken him out of harm's way. No, Romo, you can't do that. All right, we continue with more Mick Shots in just a moment.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for hanging with the boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
We're back with a tasty treat that's sweeping airwaves and taste buds. It's new Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. Let's take a listen.
Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream Soda and Dr. Pepper time. Pour it in a glass of ice.
Ah, music to my ears and mouth. New Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda.
A delicious duet.
Back to Mick Shots.
Don't miss your chance to get tickets to see the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium this season. Home matchups remaining against Washington on Thanksgiving Day, as well as the 49ers and the Eagles. Limited number of tickets on sale now. Get yours today at DallasCowboys.com/tickets. And Mickey Spagnola, we are going through your playlist of critical moments in Sunday's game. And before we get to your next, whatever you want to go with on your play sheet there, how about an update on injury situation? I know Stephen Jones was on the radio this morning and gave us an update on Tyler Biadasz as well as Andy Dalton.
Yeah, and he also, on Tyler Biadasz, ended up pulling a hamstring muscle And it sounded like, from what he said, he'd be out 2 to 3 weeks.
In warm-ups, right?
In warm-ups. Go figure. You finally were going to get your same combination of offensive linemen for 2 consecutive weeks, and you couldn't make it to the game in warm-ups, and Looney's got to come in and play.
Mickey Everson, how often do you hear about an offensive lineman pulling a hamstring?
Never.
Are you trying to say that they're not built? They're not developed enough to have muscles.
What was he doing in pregame warm-up?
For a young man, especially. For a young man, especially. I mean, he's a young man to have problems in warm-up. Give me a break. I didn't even start stretching until I was 30 years old. Come on, man. This guy's 20-something years old. He pulls a hamstring.
I wonder who was the backup center. Who was the backup center after that?
Looney, right? Looney took over.
No, and then after him, what if he goes out?
Looney.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Would McGovern go there?
I don't.
McGovern, wouldn't it?
I don't know if McGovern's. Yeah. You know
Maybe
what? When I've seen him do the quarterback school, I hadn't seen McGovern over there doing that kind of stuff. So I don't know where they would have gone.
So how long is he out? How long is Biadasz out, guys?
Oh, he's out a couple
2
weeks.
to 3 weeks at least.
I mean, they got guys on the practice squad that they can move up.
Oh my God!
That Marcus Henry and Redmond, they can put those guys on the 53 from the practice squad. But yeah, and then Trayvon Diggs has a foot injury. They were trying to wrap it. It might have been an ankle, and he doesn't come back. And so now they've got to play Savion Smith at right corner. Because Chidobe Awuzie did not get activated off of injured reserve. So now we got to keep an eye on what happens with Diggs. And I think was there one more injury, Bill, that took place in the game? I'm trying to remember.
Then Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton as far as coming back
and
after
he
the
sounded
bye week.
like with the bye week that he should be out of the reserve COVID-19 list by time they have to play Minnesota. So I think those were the 3 things that Stephen gave us updates on. We'll find out more at 4:30 when Mike McCarthy does his conference call.
All right, so next up on your play sheet, what do you got there, Mickey? Where do you want to go?
Oh, my.
Let's talk good stuff.
Well, we can certainly talk.
He doesn't have anything written down.
Yeah, I do. And did you notice how they were able to set up that punt return, the pass off the punt return? Because the first, I don't know if it was the first punt or the second punt.
Man,
they had Cedric Wilson back returning punts. So it wasn't out of the ordinary when they did this that he went back there and didn't cause Pittsburgh to go, why is that guy back there, right? And they, and a heck of a play, and the unfortunate.
So
and then
I didn't know. I didn't know we had to go to acting class to
fake the hamstring pull
to finish our special teams plays. Did you see the acting that I think it was Thompson did?
No, it was Goodwin.
He faked the hamstring.
Yeah. So and then the other thing,
very creative.
The other thing is, and
the small things that make a difference.
And you end up getting the ball down to the 9-yard line, right? And then of all things, you get a block in the back that didn't need to be thrown on Thompson, and now it's 15 yards back. You're at the 31, and you end up kicking a field goal when you would have had a really good chance to possibly score a touchdown. So you did something good, and then something bad happens. The same thing with Dottle's kickoff return. You get a big kickoff return and you can't get a touchdown. You end up with a field goal.
The other thing on the punt return, the scheme by John Fossil on that, it's really unusual. You see that occasionally on a kickoff return. But on a punt return, it's really unusual to see that because you have to depend on the directional punt by the other team to get it to send it to the other side of the field. I have seen Fossil do that before. I remember when he was with the St. Louis Rams. He did it with Tavon Austin and Stedman Bailey, and I'm pretty sure it was on a kickoff return. And that was what I was reminded of, but I remember it being a kickoff return, and it worked. And I can't remember if Tavon threw it to Stedman Bailey or vice versa, but it worked, and they scored a touchdown on it. But I just thought to be able to pull that off on a punt return, I don't know that I've seen it very often on a punt return.
Yeah, and you got to have
he must have
returner who's a former quarter.
Directional kicking. Because for them to be able to set it up like that, he must be consistently kicking to that side.
That's right.
And then the other thing is one of your returners have to have a strong enough arm to throw the ball as far as Cedric Wilson did. And then you better hope the cornerback is a cornerback because you got to hope it's not there because he can't catch the ball right as a wide receiver. And then he bobbled that thing, almost dropped it. It was a perfect pass too. Okay,
that was scary.
I got another one for you.
I gotta say, guys, I know somebody on that Cowboys coaching staff that is earning his paycheck every week. And that is the special teams coach, Fossil. I mean, you talk about going deep into your special teams playbook, week in and week out. Every week we come up with something unique to give ourselves a chance to win a ball game, and most of them work. I gotta say, I've never seen a special teams coach work so hard at being innovative and trying to do his part and keep this team in the winning column. I told you guys, we got to have all three facets of the game. We have to have it. We cannot keep thinking just defense and offense. Special teams has to enhance our chances, which he's tried to do all year long. And I'm very, very impressed with the effort that they're giving mentally and physically.
Well, how about coming up with an alignment to help block a kick with Crawford when he blocked that
Whoa,
kick?
Did you see that?
Yeah, and he did it the other time and nearly blocked it. And then also having the foresight on that the kickoff that they tried to pooch down to the corner of the goal line. He had two running backs. He had two guys back for that. It was Pollard and Dottle. So they were spread out in case they kicked it into the corner. It was almost like he was anticipating that. And then they had all the blockers over there. And boy, that guy can scoot. Did I mention his name on Friday, by the way?
Rico Dowdle.
And you guys go,
I don't know that you pronounced his name right.
Is he on the roster?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That's the first time he touched the ball all season.
That should have been your pick to click.
Mickey, I don't know that you pronounced his name right. Here's the other thing on Rico Dowdle. Had we had preseason games, we'd all know about Rico Dowdle because he would have got a lot of time in the preseason. So he was a secret weapon on that kickoff return. And I like the way he runs, too. I've heard from scouts that they really were high on him as an undrafted guy, and you could see why on that run.
And you know what? We also should give a hand to Henry Sroka, who's kind of the Cowboys scout that kind of takes care of kickers and punters, to find Nicewander. We were all sitting here going, oh, my God, they got this new punter. He did just fine, and his holds were just fine, too, by the way. So shout out to Henry.
All right. Yeah. And Hunter the punter and the holder, too. Hunter Nicewander. All right, we continue with more Mick Shots in just a moment. We go further into Mickey's play sheet from Sunday's game.
We're back with a tasty treat that's sweeping airwaves and taste buds. It's new Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. Let's take a listen.
Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream soda and Dr. Pepper time. Pour it in a glass of ice.
Music to my ears and mouth. New Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda.
A delicious duet.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
Back to Mick Shots.
The 2020 PBR Unleash the Beast World Finals will be at AT&T Stadium this Thursday through Sunday. Don't miss a second of the action. Get your tickets now at pbr.com or SeatGeek.com. And let me tell you that immediately after that game was over, the crew was out there rolling up the field because they had to get ready for PBR on Thursday.
Were the Bulls already there?
No, the Bulls weren't there.
Yeah, it was some bull crap there, though. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that's funny, Everson. I like that.
That was a good one.
All right, Mickey.
Yes.
What kind of bull do you have on your play sheet there?
3rd and 21 in the fourth quarter, and Roethlisberger throws deep for Claypool. It's incomplete, and Jalen Smith gets called for roughing the quarterback. Roughing the quarterback. One hand came, the back of it hit his face mask and came down on his shoulder pad, and somehow they saw that one. Which gave them a first down.
Yes, they did.
At the 36, and that drive continued on, and it ended up with the Ebron touchdown. Otherwise, the Cowboys at that point are forcing them to punt. I think there was going to be maybe, I had it written down, like 8 minutes left to go in the game.
There was like 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
3 minutes left.
Yeah. You're right. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you imagine?
That was on their go-ahead drive. Happened? That was on the go-ahead drive, right, Bill?
Because that was going to be.
Right, exactly.
It was going to be a 3 and out. It was going to be a 3 and out.
They got a 3 and out, and it was basically a hands to the face of the quarterback, roughing the passer. I mean, how huge
I gotta say,
was
guys,
that call?
As much as I call that a nitpicking call, I was really hard on Jalen on Twitter after that, and I should be. I was not going to apologize, Bill. You know, I want the words that came out of my mouth was that. Well, my words were Jalen Smith is a blank. But when I put it on Twitter, it was we have an unintelligent defense. You know, we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that we are good players. Good players don't do ignorant things in that manner at that time of the ball game. It's reckless. It's irresponsible. And there are things that should go through your mind before certain plays, such as Garrett Gilbert's interception. This is also another one. When I make this rush, I have got to be legitimate in every way. And as a leader of this team, and that's what Jalen Smith thinks he is, He has got to do better. There is no excuse for what he did. And I'm not forgiving one play and saying that was the demise of a game or a season or whatever. But that was a huge mistake in the ball game at that particular time. We had a time to make up for all other crap that we had done. We could make up for it in this moment. And he chose to follow a certain pattern that we've always been subject to all season long right now.
Now,
very disappointed in him. Very disappointed in Jalen Smith.
His biggest mistake was on the goal line.
After having a great ball game, by the way.
Yeah.
After having a decent ball game.
His biggest mistake, though, was on the Ebron touchdown when they looked like they were in man defense, and Jalen's got the tight end, and he just stood there and started motioning like this at the snap for the corner, who was covering a receiver. It was Savion Smith.
There were two receivers out there.
Jordan Lewis was over there covering the other guy. They carried them into the end zone, and Jalen got frozen. He didn't do anything. And I'm guessing that's got to be his guy, and he never took a step over there. And then poor Savion tries to make the tackle, and Ebron leaps over him into the end zone for the touchdown.
Everson, it's hard
and
for us.
Everyone's dogging him when it's really that was a good thing because you kind of wanted them to score quick at that point.
Well, yeah,
so that we could have a chance.
It was the John Madden philosophy. Okay.
So you think he was employing that?
Yeah, no, I
don't think
so.
Actually, it was a very smart play, and he was employing that strategy?
Yeah, that's what Savion was doing. That was all in his head.
He looked at his size, and he looked at Ebron's size and said, I better not hit him in the chest. I might embarrass myself.
No, I'm saying, do you think Jalen was
just let him go. Yeah, let him go score. No, I don't think that went through his head.
We need the ball back.
Okay, so here's the other key part.
You think that's what Jalen was thinking?
Here's the other key point in the game. The Cowboys were up 19-9. There was 2:13 left to go in the third quarter, and Pittsburgh said, you know what? We don't need a running back on the field. We've only gained 40-some yards. We're going 4 wide receivers and a tight end, and Roethlisberger then threw the ball on 22 of the next 23 snaps for 193 yards. When he only threw for 111 in the first half. And the Cowboys finally, after saying we're trying to hang in here with our nickel, but we're going to go to our dime now, finally, but they could not cover all those receivers and the tight end, and that's when Roethlisberger turned the game around and picked him apart because they basically went 4 wide and a tight end the rest of the game until they had the lead.
So do you have how many passes that Roethlisberger threw from that point on?
I said 22 of 23.
Okay. So basically, the Steelers, maybe for the first time this year, were in the same position the Cowboys have been in all season long, especially when Dak was at quarterback too, when Dak racks up all these numbers where he's throwing the ball on every play in the second half because the team is down by double digits. Well, the Steelers found themselves down late in the third quarter, down by 10 points, and okay, let's put it in the hands of our quarterback. The other part of that is, and you talked, Everson, about positives coming out of this game. How about the Cowboys' run defense? And what they did against this Steelers rushing offense, the Steelers couldn't run the ball against the Cowboys. And so it was, even if it was a tie game at that point, it would behoove them to go ahead and throw the ball because they weren't running it against the Cowboys in this game.
You know what? I thought Gallimore really came alive in that game, and maybe they should make Antoine Woods the team captain. How'd you guys like
the bad defense that Mike Nolan came up with?
And maybe they should make Antoine Woods the captain every game because he came alive too. Those guys in the middle really played well.
He did.
And they even got Anku some snaps too, the new guy that they had just traded for. So I thought the activity of those guys inside did a heck of a job. But again, it was just a shame that they couldn't match up with all those wide receivers to the finish the way they had stopped them previously, Bill. And you're right, with the running game, I think they ended up with 46 yards rushing. And they just said, well, but so here's the downside from the Cowboys standpoint. They couldn't sack Roethlisberger. They had a 5-man line, and they stopped him every time. And I guess when you get spread out like that, it's hard to blitz because somebody's going to be open if you take somebody off to blitz. So they kind of got him in a bind when their front four could not get to Roethlisberger during that whole period. He didn't get sacked once. I think he only got hit a couple times. And so I thought that was the turning point. They gambled on throwing the ball every down. The Cowboys knew they were throwing the ball. There was no one to hand it off to. And the one run they had was an end around to it might have been Ray McLeod, I think they handed
Juju?
off to. Ray McLeod. So that was it. But they couldn't put pressure on him that whole time. He was picking them apart. And that turned the entire game around. It went from 19-9 to 24-19.
And he hit my guy Juju 4 times, including the touchdown. The guy that should have been a Cowboy. If people talk about drafting T.J. Watt instead of Taco in that draft, I would have taken Juju Smith-Schuster myself. But that's another story for another day. All right, Everson's going to be. Who are you going to be with the next couple of days, Everson? You remember? We're changing up the lineup the next couple of days.
I don't know if he can hear us or not.
We're losing Everson.
Pardon me?
Yep.
Who you on tomorrow? We're changing the lineup.
Yeah, you're losing.
There
me,
we go. Look at there.
This internet is horrible. I'm sorry.
All right, we're losing him.
Where's he at?
Whatever.
It's on the screen here. I can't find him.
I'm here.
He's on the Players Lounge with Newey and Jesse. And we have joining us Dave Hellman and Heckma Harrison with us on Mick Shots for the next 2 days.
There's your podcast schedule. All
Is
right.
that who I'm with? I'm with Heckma?
No, you're with Newey.
No, you.
Is that me or you?
You're with Newey and Jesse on the Players Lounge. You come on right after us.
I like Jesse.
All right, that ought to be fun.
I'm ready.
Okay,
All right.
we will see you again, Mickey and I, on Mick Shots at 1:30 tomorrow, and right after that, the Players Lounge, and Everson will be there. We will see you on Tuesday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!